Hello everybody, hi my dear YouTube friends, how are you doing? Welcome to my video. So first up, if you're new here, hi, welcome, my name is Mia and I'm so happy to see you here. I hope you consider subscribing. You can do that right down there. Next to the subscribe button, you'll see a bell, ding that, choose all, and you'll be notified whenever I put up a new video. And if you're back, hi friends, I'm so happy to see you. So yeah, today's Tuesday, which means we have a Wip Chat. If you don't know what a Wip Chat is, WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress. And chat means I'm going to chat your ears off for a while, okay? So, yeah, let me tell you what I have here. And, no, first up, this video, you can treat it like a podcast. You can work alongside me. You can take a walk. You can do chores. You can clean. Whatever you want to. And I'm going to work on my diamond painting. So with that, this is what we're working with. This is my diamond painting. It is called Secret Garden. The artist is Josephine Wall. And it is Diamond Art Club that released this kit a while back. It is discontinued, so sadly you can't get it anymore. What else? I am using my Art De Nicole trays still. I am waiting to get the urge to use some of my other trays, but I'm still loving these. And I'm using the Elizabeth Ward tray system, knockoff, fake Elizabeth Ward, I don't know what you want to call them. And I have my Diamond Art Club pink ombre tweezers. I love them because they aren't, sharp. I haven't had an accident with these. I have with these. I use these sharper ones to pick up drills. So yeah, that is the tweezers. And then I have my array of pens. Yeah, I don't use all of them, but these I just have lying around. So, if I want to use one of them, I can't. So let's see. These two, yeah, I'm missing one. Oh, wait, over here. These two are from Beaux Atours. They are a French company and they make beautiful pens. This is one of their specialty pens. It has cinnamon swirls in it. I don't know if you can see all these brown swirls. That's cinnamon and it smells amazing. Yeah, still smells amazing, even though I've had it for about a year now. So that is those. These two are from Norse Alchemist. That is a Danish pen turner, and I had to support him, since he's from my country. So yeah, if you know me, you know that most of these colors are my favorite. I have pink and I have purple swirls. I love it. And then these two is my latest additions. These are from a neighbor's Outpost. This is my trade pen. I traded this pen with Edward, the male part of Enabler's Outpost. I knitted him a scarf and I got a pen. Then I bought these two mini pens. So yeah, and right now I enjoy this one. I am going to use this one as well, but right now I use this. This is a thermal pen. So that means it'll change color when you use it. So yeah, it'll go from kind of this color. This is even a little light, but it'll go almost totally white when I'm using it. So yeah, I have mostly, the thin four placers, plastic multi-placers, and I have a variety of putties. This is Enabler's Outpost putty in the scent of pineapple. I think most everyone else is my own putty in the four placers. Then I have a metallic 5 placer which is also my own putty. In the single placers, I think most of them has glue dots, don't they? Yeah, these 4 have glue dots. This one has super sticky from Patty Wax, and this one is having the regular red wax because I use it for ABs. So yeah, and that is enough chit chat of all my accessories. Let's get on with it. I'm just gonna need a sip of my iced tea. Okay, so before I get really started, how are you doing? Please let me know down in the comment field how you're doing. I would really like to know that. And yeah, also I need to tell you, I might be yawning quite a lot because I just started some new medication on Friday, and one of the side effects is yawning, apparently. And I have been yawning like crazy ever since Friday. So, yeah, I had no idea that yawning could be a side effect. But apparently, I have a light gray one in here. I'm very picky with my drills, and some of my followers tease me with it that I am too picky when I pick out trashy drills. And I mean, can you be too picky with trash drills? I mean, I don't think so, but apparently I am too picky, which is fine by me. So yeah, last week David had vacation time. And they went flying everywhere. He had a week of vacation time, so we just, relaxed and did some, stuff around the house. We were in the garden, and we just enjoyed having time together. Yeah, and on Thursday, we went border shopping. That is the direct translation that we use here in Denmark. We live about an hour away from Germany, and their prices are very much cheaper than what we pay. So sometimes, we will go border shopping just to get some stuff cheaper than we can get it at home. For instance, we have a Swiffer. What are they called? Well, it's called a Swiffer, and you can use it on the floors both wet and dry. And you can buy these duster thingies that you use on it in Denmark as well, but it is so expensive. And I mean, when we buy them in Germany, we get at least double up for a lesser price. So we usually, buy enough so that we have, for at least for around 6 months. So that is usually how often we go to Germany, about twice a year. And then we buy so that we have enough for that time. And then we also buy almonds, and we buy stuff for we can get these what are they called, taps that prevents calgon buildups in your washing machine. We buy those in Germany as well because they're cheaper there as well. And we buy, well, what don't we buy down there? We buy some meat that you can't get in Denmark anymore, like pulled turkey. We can't get pulled turkey in Denmark anymore because apparently it wasn't selling enough. And that is one of our favorites. So we buy that in Germany. Then we just, enjoy walking around, talking to people, and, looking at all the stuff you can get in Germany that you can't get here. And one of our weaknesses is all the candy you can get down there. We try every time to say, okay, we can't get a lot, but just a little. And I don't know, every time we end up having more than we agreed on. But we're both horrible. We have such a sweet tooth, the both of us. But thank God we can keep it for a long time, Well, I can keep it a longer time than David can because I tease him a lot about how he inhales candy, and that I want my own, bowl when we have, movie nights or something where we have candy, because if we share a bowl of candy, I might get, I don't know, 2 or 3 pieces and it's gone because David has inhaled the rest of it. Yeah, well, I have to tease him, and he teases me as well. So he usually say that I hoard my candy because I'm able to keep it for a while. So yeah, I mean, we have to tease each other. We've been together for so long. We know everything about each other. So yeah, but it's fun. It's all fun and games, and we enjoy it. So we were down there Thursday, and when we are down there, it's a kind of a mall called Park, and they have this restaurant where they serve I don't know, dinners and pitas with different meat in it. But they also have this, it's kind of like a pita dinner where you have falafels in it. And I love falafels. I mean, I make them myself sometimes, which is, that tastes amazing as well. But sometimes it's just, I want to go somewhere that can make it for me, and that where it tastes good, because I'm sorry to say, not everywhere is amazing at making them. I have friends from Syria, and if I can, I will let them make me falafels every day because they are so, so, so good. Well, almost everyone from the Middle East is amazing at making falafels. So yeah, I think these young men that has this restaurant in the first town you come to in Germany is called Flensburg, and yeah, that is the town where this mall is, and I think these young men, I don't know if they're from the Middle East or if they're from Turkey, and I don't really, it isn't important. But they make amazing, amazing falafels. And then they also make their own sandwich bread, pita bread. And we usually buy some of these breads to take home with us. We stuff them in the freezer when we get home. because they are amazing when we make pulled turkey. I mean, they are so fluffy and yummy, and yeah. I wish I could get the recipe because I would absolutely make them all the time, for just indulging, because they're so good. So yeah, we were down there shopping Thursday, and then my nurse from the pain clinic called while we were down there, and she wanted to hear how our latest uh, trial with medication went. And I told her, sometimes it's working and sometimes it isn't. And she was like, oh, well, then maybe if you keep at it, it'll be working even better. So we decided to do that. And then sorry. Oh, oh my God. Sorry for that. Then she told me, that she had another medication that she wanted me to begin trying. Um, so that they can make sure that I am pain free or as close as pain free as possible. Um, and then she was like, "Do you have a pen and paper so you can write down what I'm saying right now?" And I was like, "No, I'm in Germany right now." "Oh, am I disturbing you?" She said, "No, if you were, I wouldn't have picked up my phone." Like, okay, well, I will write you. We have a system where doctors and officials can write to you, and it's secure. So she would send me an email on that. It's called eBooks. Um, eBooks. So she would send me an email there how to take this medication, and she talked about what to keep an eye out for and what isn't supposed to happen, and if that happened, I had to call her immediately. And one of them being so they have found out, and I don't know if this is common knowledge, but they found out that antidepressant medication helps against nerve pain because the antidepressant medication somehow numbs the nerves so that you don't feel as much as you normally do. And that's why antidepressants also, it numbs the nervous system so that you don't feel as much pain. I mean, to me it is highly interesting, and I'm like, well, as long as it works, I'm in for it. But the one thing that was baffling me is one of the side effects for this antidepressant medication is depression, which was like, what? Do explain yourself. How can a medication against depression give you depression? That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I have to keep an eye out for that, so I will. And then, there is a lot of other side effects, one of them being yawning, which I began almost the next morning. I was yawning like crazy. And another one of the side effects are being tired. And I'm always tired. You know that if you've been following me for a while. You know that I'm always tired from being in pain, and I don't know. But this past, I don't know, how long I've started taking it Friday, and today's Tuesday. So I've been taking it for 4 days now. I take it, just before bedtime. So tonight will be day 5. And I can sleep 12 hours a day, at least. I mean, today I got up, had breakfast, and then sat down and slept. Almost to when David had to leave for work, which was like, what, for almost, when were we done? I slept almost 4 hours, 3.5 hours after I got up. And I had, I don't know, 7.5 hours of sleep tonight. So I wasn't, and I didn't have enough sleep. But yeah, I'm I'm like, I hope this gets better very, very soon, because I don't want to feel this tired all the time. And it could also be because, last week when we were on vacation mode, we got to bed a little too late most of the nights. So hopefully it can also just be because of that I'm feeling more tired. So I will be doing my darnest well to get to bed in a good time this week, just to see, you know, will it do anything? But that'll take a few days to find out. I don't know if any of you know anything about, how sleep works. Like, for instance, you can't sleep ahead of time if you know you're going to do something that would make you miss sleep. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna sleep an hour or two extra for the next few days, and then I've been sleeping ahead of time. You can't do that. You can only, you know, catch up on sleep afterwards. Yeah. It took me a while to figure that one out. I read it in a study or something. So yeah. And before that, I had for years been trying to, I can just sleep ahead of time. That is no issue at all. If I'm doing something that'll be hard on me, I just sleep a lot a few days before. And it never helped. And now I know why. Yeah. Anyway, so that is that medication with all the side effects. And I'm really, really hoping that all the side effects go away very soon, because it is slowly driving me bananas. I hate side effects. I mean, when I started taking methadone, how long ago is that? 10 years ago, I was nauseous for 14 days. I had that feeling for 24 hours a day that I was going to throw up all the time. And I hated it. It was so horrible. So, I mean, compared to that, being tired and yawning a lot, that is easy. But still, being this tired all the time, it isn't funny. I mean, I want to be able to be around people, Yesterday I had my knitting club, and I was ready to go home after an hour just because I was so tired. And that isn't fair to me or to them, or, I'm there to have fun and to enjoy being out about. And then I was just sitting there like, can I go home now? And I told them when I came, I'm on new medication, so I might, sit here dozing off a little, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just my new medication. And they were like, oh, that is annoying. I mean, all of these women are quite a lot older than me. The oldest is, what is she by now? 80, 88, 87? I can't remember. She's in her late 80s. Then we have one who turned 80 6 months ago. So I'm like, I'm the baby in that group. So I'm like, so all of a sudden it's me who needs uh, extra care or something. I don't know. But they know it. They know that I have my rare condition and that it is affecting me in all, you know, in different ways. Sorry, I just bumped you. I have all my drills over here, so I have a hard time reaching them. So yeah. In case you don't know, if you have issues opening these, use a tweezer. Just snap it. Like, put it under here and just snap it. That way you don't have to ruin your nails or anything. I have very, very, very soft nails. So I break them like very, very easy. Nope, that one's too dark too. Trying to figure out where this the drills that I found belongs. So yeah. But other than being tired, knitting club was lovely. I love being with these gals, women, I need to say. So if you can see, I'm holding my hand here because I have light coming in, and when it is still light out, I have issues seeing the symbols, which can be a pain in the butt. For some reason, I'm not very good at placing my drills today. I mean, last week I had issues because of how my camera was set up. I had it coming from over here, and usually I have my camera coming from over there. So I had issues with, how to place my arms. But these days it's just because I'm tired. So yeah, I am hoping that those side effects go away very soon. I mean, being tired and driving a car isn't exactly a great combo, right? So I'm trying not to drive more than necessary. I mean, to my knitting club yesterday, that's 10 minutes, which is fine by me. I mean, I won't be driving, hours as long as I'm feeling this drowsy. It's not drowsy, it's just being tired. I don't feel like I'm in a cheese box or anything. I don't feel like I'm boxed in. It's just being tired. And I am very aware of that. I know, that some medications, if the dosage is too high, you can feel like boxed in so that you don't really feel the rest of the world, that is not healthy. If you ever get pain medication or any medication at all that makes you feel sealed off from the rest of the world, go see a doctor. That means that your dosage is too high. So that is something you need to be aware of. A lot of people who has been taking methadone has experienced that. I've never done that. I mean, I've always felt very clear-headed. I haven't never been, I've never felt drugged, that feeling of not being fully aware of yourself. I don't know how to explain it. I've never tried it, so it is hard for me to explain. I just, how other people explained it to me. That feeling of being boxed up in a glass or something that other people can see you, but you feel locked away somehow. So if you ever feel like that, go see your doctor. It isn't healthy and shouldn't be like that. But yeah, I think that is more than enough of me and my side effects. I mean, it isn't that interesting, is it? Other than that, we went to visit David's mom a few times during the week. She's beginning to settle in at the senior center where she's living now. She is still, I don't know how to explain that. She's been a night owl for years due to some horrible things that happened to her as a child. She was molested. And yeah, a lot of other things have happened to her. So she is, she doesn't always feel safe in her own skin. And that makes her, she reacts in ways that most people find weird. I mean, she's up late, she's eating during the night, she's rummaging around, she's cleaning, all these things that most people do during the day. She's doing those at nighttime, and because she's now, she has issues with her memories, she doesn't know that, where she is her home. So she's wandering around, trying to figure out, where do I go? How do I get home to my own place? Where should I sleep? She can't, in her little apartment, it is a small apartment that she's living in, and for some reason, she can't seem to find, to figure out, that the bathroom that she's seeing is her bathroom. I just need to. Sorry. So quite often, she ends up going into the other residents' apartments to use their bathrooms, which is, we were a bit puzzled, because if she can go to the other residents' apartments and find their toilets, bathrooms, why can't she find her own, which is in the same place? And then the nurses and staff were like, oh, maybe it's because you have this closet standing right next to it so that she can't find it. And it's like, she did the same at that temporary place she was. Well, even though when she was in her bed, she could look directly at the bathroom. She didn't know where it was. So, I mean, we don't really think it's because that there's a closet right in front of it. And the doors is opened, and yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it's just who she is now, And then we just have to help her as best we can. And right now she doesn't need her apartment to be changed. She is slowly learning, to live in that space, that it is her space, it is her stuff. So to me, at least, it would be a bad idea to move it all around. I don't know, I don't think it'll do anything. And she's still, wandering about in the night. At least she had a few nights where she had a good sleep, which is amazing. She needed that. And we talked about, how it's so easy to see or to register when she needs to sleep or something, because when she's beginning to be tired, she is slurring, her words is slurring, and she is, she, her, the things that she's saying doesn't really make a lot of sense. And that gets worse when she's getting tired. So usually when I hear her, starting to say a lot of stuff that doesn't really make a lot of sense, I usually, go to her and I sit down in front of her and I'm like, are you maybe a little tired? Because when I look at you, you seem tired. So do you maybe need a nap? And I mean, we will get you, we will let you get your nap, and then we will be back a little later when you're feeling better. And then she'll, look a little, and she's like, I don't want you to go. I mean, and usually I tell her, if you need a nap, that is way more important for us than, to keep you awake and not feeling good. And it is because she wants to be hospitable, and, she doesn't want us to feel like she doesn't want us there, which is, that is the person she is. She wants to be a good hostess. But we're like, it is more than okay. We will just come back when you're feeling better, and that way you will also, have less fuss. That is somehow what she's calling it, that her head is fuzzy. I mean, and if you've been sleeping a little, then your brain will be less fuzzy, and you'll have easier access to your memories. And usually that is the way to go if you want her to take a nap. Because, she's very aware that her mind sometimes playing tricks on her. And that must be horrible, to know that your mind is playing tricks on her, on your, I mean, on your mind is playing tricks on you. Sorry. Because usually she's always been very sharp. So it must be horrible that you all of a sudden can't trust your own mind. Yeah. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But she is living with it, and sometimes, which is in my head a blessing. I don't know if it is for the rest of them, the family. It is a blessing that she doesn't remember all of it. She doesn't know, how bad it is. Quite often, I've heard her say, "Oh, I am feeling better, so very soon I'll be able to go home again." And then the next second she'll be, incoherent, but we let her, believe. I mean, if she's feeling that she's getting better, maybe that'll keep her going. If she had that feeling of never, improving or something, she might give up. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you need to encourage her, I'm not sure. That is one of these things that I'm like, I mean, how much do we need to be, do we need to be very honest with her, or do we sort of let her be in that it isn't a fantasy world, but where she is feeling that everything is getting better and soon she'll be able to come home. And I don't know. I mean, we do tell her a lot that this is home, this is where she's living, and, you know, she's looking around and she sees her own stuff. And then for a minute or two, she's like, yeah, I know this is where I'm living and this is a nice place and everybody who lives here is so nice. And then a second later, she will be like, when am I going home? And, yeah. I wish that I could do something for her, you know? That it'll, I don't know, I mean, she doesn't remember a lot of things, you know? It's kind of like her oxygen. I mean, she feels like when she has the oxygen mask in her nose that she can breathe a lot better. But if you aren't there, she takes it out. So it's kind of like, I know it helps me, but when you're not here, I can't remember why I need it. So she takes it off all the time, and then her oxygen level is dropping, and that makes her even more confused because her brain doesn't get enough oxygen. And it's a tough one because you can't really, you know, force it on her. I don't know. I mean, and how would you force it on her? I mean, it would be like somebody being there with in her room 24/7, so that, you know, every time she tries to take it off, they would put it right back on her, which is resources that these living facilities don't have unless you're willing to pay for it, which is a lot of money. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough when you really just want the best for her, right? I just lost a drill. Where did it go? Oh no, it just didn't. I don't know how we're supposed to help her, you know? I want her to have all the best in the rest of her life, but at the same time I can't really do a lot if she doesn't do some of it herself, if that makes sense. I hope it makes some sense. So yeah. I don't know how many of you were in my live this Sunday. If you were there, you might heard me talk about what a horrible experience my family had Friday night. My brother wrote me around midnight, sent me a few pictures of Rosa, our niece, laying in a hospital bed. And then he told me that she had stopped breathing and that he had to perform CPR for almost 10 minutes while waiting for an ambulance. And oh my God, I mean, the fear I felt in that moment, that she had actually stopped breathing, and that my brother had to, you know, to help her breathe, you know. I was terrified, and I was, why? I mean, and I was remembering when that same thing happened to my brother when he was around the same age, due to his asthma. And he was, he didn't really know anything because they were waiting for some doctors to stop by, and they waited for, somebody to do some tests so they could figure out what happened, and they don't really do a lot of that during the night. So I didn't sleep very well that night. I was, my mind were at the hospital the entire time, praying that it wouldn't happen again, and that they would, find out exactly what caused this so that we could, all of us could prevent it from ever happening again. And then the next day, I wrote my brother, what is going on, and he was like, yeah, we're waiting for the doctor to stop by and to tell us, what they think happened. And then a little later, he called me to ask if I would come pick them up at the hospital, which of course I would. So I drove down there at around, what was it, 3 p.m. So I was at the hospital around 3:30 p.m. And I think Rosa was happy to see me. And despite mommy and daddy being there, both of them, I got to hold her. Usually she's a little, when mommy and daddy are there, they are the best in the world, which is, how it should be. So I get to hold her a little, and, we talked about that she had been in the hospital, and, that must have been a little scary. But I don't know. I mean, the moment she came in her, her little chair in our car, the auto chair, I can't remember the word for it right now. The safety chair, maybe? Car seat, that's the word. In her little car seat, and we started driving, she fell asleep in a second. So we were like, well, one, she knows our car, so she's safe in here. She's safe. She knows, the smell. She knows the sound. She knows everything. So, and she just came from a hospital where everything was new and strange and unsafe. So that might be the reason that she just fell asleep right away. I mean, the safeness of the car, the movements of the car. I mean, I'm falling asleep in the car as well, if I'm not driving it. If I'm just sitting at the passenger side, I fall asleep all the time as well. So I get that one. But with her sleeping, I could ask, so what did the doctor say? And they had talked about epilepsy, which, I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Then they talked about her tonsils and her, what's the other thing you can have? You can have tonsil removed, and you can have your, I don't know, polyps? Is that the name in English? I can't remember. But, I think both of them can make you snore quite a lot. So that, and then the last thing was a concussion. And I looked at my brother like, did she hit her head? Since they were talking about a concussion. And then he told me that on Friday, she had been on the playground with my mom, who had then been on a swing and hit Rosa in the head with the swing. And I was like, wait, what? Why was my mom on a swing if Rosa weren't on another swing? Which, I mean, I would never in a million years put myself on a swing if I didn't know that Rosa was in her own swing, just because I know how dangerous it is and how fast those little kids are. But anyway, there was that accident, and my brother had been at the doctor's office with Rosa, to get her checked out, and they had sent him home. And my brother had then contacted several, we know doctors, we have friends who are doctors, and some of them had said, why isn't she in the hospital? She should be in the hospital. She is so young, and kids that age shouldn't be released to home. They should be in the hospital because who knows? And yeah, she should have been in the hospital. If she had been, she would have been there when all of this happened. So, yeah. I hope that my brother will make a complaint. I mean, this isn't like in the US where you can sue people and win millions of dollars. That isn't how it works in Denmark. But I do hope that he'll complain, just because this almost went very, very wrong. I mean, thank God that he didn't, panic. I mean, I don't know. Like he told me on the way home, he knows CPR for children, the way you do it with children, at least small children, is very different from how you do CPR with adults and bigger children, because their lungs and everything is smaller, so you need to be more careful so that you don't, break or overblow their lungs, so that the lungs explode. It sounds wrong, I know that. I don't really know how to explain it. But their lungs aren't as big, so they can't have as much air in them as we can. So, it can be dangerous if you're blowing too hard into them. But he told me, I totally forgot everything I learned. I just did. And, I told him, that is what saved her. You did something. You didn't just panic and didn't do anything. And he had maybe a nurse on the phone with him. He called 911. And, he had a nurse on the phone who kept asking, how is things doing? How is she doing? Does she breathe? How is her colors? All these questions that also kept him focused. And she was breathing again as the ambulance came. So that's good. But yeah, it has been a rough weekend. So that isn't one weekend that we want to repeat the next long time. I mean, I can't remember when I've last been that scared. Well, I do remember. That was when my sister's middle child, she was around 4 at the time, and she had kidney failure. And for 3 weeks, we had no idea if she would survive or not. That is the last time I have been this scared. I mean, it isn't supposed to happen to children. Kids are supposed to be healthy and happy and, running around, playing, having fun. They aren't supposed to lay in a hospital bed and feeling so bad that nobody knows if they'll survive. That's that is just wrong somehow. I mean, but that might just be me. I mean, I know that we can't all be healthy all the time, but for some reason, I mean, it makes more sense to me that adults get sick, you know? Or maybe it doesn't make sense at all. I don't know. I'm just, I mean, it's still, you know, it's still in my heart and in my head that this happened, you know. So I might just be over emotional. That might be it. And we didn't have her here yesterday, which also makes a lot of sense because, I mean, David and I talked about it. If this had happened to us, if we had been parents and this happened, we wouldn't have let that child out of our sight for at least a few days. I mean, just to make sure, you know. And even, you know, I said to David, even when she's out here again, I'm not sure that I will leave her out of my sight, you know. I will have to make sure that she's okay at all times. Which again, it sounds very overprotective. I know that. But all of my nephews and nieces are my, you know, they mean everything to me. I just want to keep them safe, well, as safe as I can. So, yeah, I might be a little overprotective of my nieces and nephews. But I don't really think that is a bad thing. I mean, the kids, they need to be protected at all times, right? Just because they aren't mine doesn't mean that I'm not going to protect them with everything I have. Was that it? That was it. So yeah. What else? What else happened? Not really a whole lot. What did we do? We were out Friday. We were out to see David's mom. We weren't supposed to be there very long. We just went out there with some stuff that we bought in Germany. Some Ricola, that is the hard candy that she likes, and they make tea as well that she loves. So we were out there with a box of those or a can of those. Then we bought some Ricola candy as well. And then we bought her some toothpaste. You know, just little things that she needs. So we were out there with those things, you know. And well, David's brother was there, so I ignored him while I talked with my mother-in-law. I need a sip to drink. Sorry. So I talked to her while the brothers talked about I don't know what. And then we walked outside a little. And then David and I went on our merry way to do some grocery shopping. And yeah. And then all the things happened at Friday night and stuff like that. And yesterday, Monday, we were out there again, you know, to look at the mail, to see what was in her mailbox, and, you know, just to say hello. she was having lunch when we arrived, you know, and she was happy to see us. We were just talking a little with her and her table neighbor. They were getting ice cream for dessert yesterday, so that was a hit. All of the elderly were sitting there with their ice cones and enjoying life, which was amazing to see. And then when they were done, we went with her down to her apartment and talked a little, and then we got her to take a nap because she was so tired. But she was more coherent than the last time we were there alone. That was when she talked about our adopted children that we don't have. So yeah, that one hurt a little, you know. But, you know, it isn't something that she does on purpose, you know. It is just her mind playing tricks on her. But it still hurts, you know, when people talk about, you know, where is your adopted children? Why haven't you adopted? So why don't you have kids? All these questions. And I know that they don't mean anything by them. I know that. But they still hurt a little every time. So, yeah. I'm just happy she didn't talk about those again, because I might have had to leave the room if she started doing that again. But we got her in bed and told her we'd be back very soon and that she just needed to sleep a little to feel better. So yeah. And then what did we do more yesterday? We went grocery shopping to make, you know, so that David had everything for when he went back to work last night. He enjoyed his vacation, but you know, eventually it has to end. So he went back to work last night. So yeah. Which is also where he is right now. He is at work right now. So yeah. But anyway, how long have I been chatting? Oh, look at that. An hour and almost 3 minutes. Which means that about this time I need to stop talking, because I try to make my videos about an hour. So that is about it. Oh, can you see that? Her sleeve, and here is her little hand coming. And over here we have another hand and a sleeve. I can't wait to see her come to life. I mean, I love all these reds, and isn't it beautiful? I can't wait to show you all when she's done. Which is, I'm over halfway by now. So who knows? I might be very close to finish her by the end of May. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna stop yabbering by now, otherwise I'll continue for another hour or so. But yeah, don't forget to give my video a thumbs up before you leave. Please write me a comment down below, you know, how you're doing and what you've been working on. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe right down there. Push the bell to be notified whenever I put up a new video. I have videos on Tuesdays like Wip Chats. Then on Fridays I have unboxings. Saturdays I read a fairy tale. And on Sundays I have my lives. And please come to a live. You know, they are cozy. They are enjoyable. We aren't a whole lot, which makes it more, you know, cozy. So, yeah, that's about it for today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everybody. Bye. Love you. Bye.